They won't move.
Okay, ladies and gents, you can stand if you like. Don't forget there's plenty of icy cold water down the back of the boat here if you get thirsty. If you're wondering where the cups are, they're on the wall to the right hand side of the water container there. Okay, ladies and gents, everybody can hear me all right, eh? Yeah? As we're travelling up this part of the first gorge, I'll tell you a little bit about the National Park and the river system. The National Park's about 180,000 hectares in size. There's over 130 kilometres of walking trails throughout the entire park. Now the traditional owners, the Jawoyn people, they've renamed the park Nitmiluk, and that means cicada dreaming. They've also got a name for the river, which is Barraway, and that means Kookaburra. Now the river has its headwaters right up in the southwest tip of Arnhem Land. It then flows some 300 kilometres through the Daly River and then out into the Timor Sea, out of a bay called Anson Bay. It's about 120 kilometres southwest of Darwin. Now most of the rock that we'll be seeing throughout today's tour, a good example there on the left hand side, that is called Gorge sandstone. Scientists and geologists both agree that that's about 1,650 million years old. And they also agree there's not much of a chance of you finding many fossils within the rock, due to there not being much life around on Earth at the time the rock was formed. The average depth of the river is around 7 metres. The average rainfall we get, about 1,000 millimetres or 40 inches. From time to time, ladies and gents, I'll be pointing out a few things of interest. Feel free to come down the back here and ask me some questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll just change the subject. Okay, ladies and gents, every now and then we're going to see a sign on a beach. There's one there on the right hand side coming up. That sign says crocodile nesting area, do not enter. Now the crocodiles of the gorge system, they're called Johnson River crocodiles, and they grow up to a length of about 3 metres. Most of their diet consists of insects and fish, although they do supplement their diet with rats, bats, frogs, lizards, snakes, birds. Humans are definitely not on their diet. And that brings me to the saltwater crocodile. There are no saltwater crocodiles within the gorge system, but just to ensure this, the rangers do spotlight checks after every wet season, just in case a couple sneak through the high floodwaters. They've already done their spotlight check this year, and as you can see, it's quite safe to canoe, and it's quite safe to swim as well. The rangers do ask you not to use red meat or live bait as well. If you use red meat or live bait, you'll probably catch yourself a turtle, or even a small Johnson River crocodile. On letting them go straight away, they'll probably die of stress a few days later, and I reckon the person with the crocodile on the end of the line will have a pretty stressful time as well. As we round this corner, folks, we'll get a good photo of the escarpment. Jawoyn Aborigines believe that that is a Mimi spirit. Now these paintings are believed to be about 9,000 years old. The question on most people's lips is, how'd they get the paintings up there so high? Well, 9,000 years ago, scientists believe these rocks here once formed a ledge, and they just climbed up on the ledge and did their paintings. Another way they might have done it was they may have made a ladder or a scaffold out of the Livingston palm. That's that palm tree just there, and climbed up that. Now the paint that they use, that's called red ochre or hematite. It's dug up out of a dry river rock bed, ground down, mixed with animal blood, plant juices, water, saliva, anything they could find, and painted on. Being Gorge sandstone, that actually seeps into it and stains the rock. Now the reason why they painted them underneath ledges like this one here is to keep them well away from the rain. In fact, this rock face only gets about 2 weeks of sunlight a year, and that's in early January. That's when it's fairly overcast anyway. So the Jawoyn people really thought about where they put their paintings, well away from the rain and well away from the sunlight as well. Gorge is this rock face on our right hand side. That was made famous back in the 1950s when it was used as a backdrop in one of Australia's first full-length colour movies. The movie was produced by a man named Charles Chevelle. Anybody seen the movie Jeddah?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay, for those who haven't, in the final scene, Marbark, a full-blooded Aboriginal man, is about to throw Jeddah, an Aboriginal girl, off the top of this rock face. As he is about to do so, Jeddah's soon-to-be husband catches up with them, pleading on his hands and knees with Marbark to let Jeddah go. While the young man is pleading, Marbark loses his footing and falls to his death, dragging Jeddah with him. Nice bloke, eh? Now the rock's 63 metres high, or 200 feet, and at the base the water is 9 metres deep. And back then they couldn't find anybody brave enough or stupid enough to jump off the rock for the stunt, so they made paper mache dummies and threw them off about 50 times to try and get a realistic effect. Later on that year, Charles Chevelle went broke from making the movie Jeddah. I wonder if that had anything to do with all the paper mache he used. If you'd like to get a good photo of Jeddah's rock, I'll take the boat up around the corner there a little bit. Okay, ladies and gents, opening up on our left-hand side, the magnificent Katherine Canyon. It's probably the most photographed part of the second gorge. It's on all of your boat tickets and your brochures. Has anybody seen the Daryl Summers advert? If you never go, you'll never know. Yeah. For those who have, this is where he's floating on his lilo in the ad. The water at this point, 27 metres deep. Don't drop the cameras. I suppose you could call it a white-faced, yellow-legged, grey-bodied heron if you really wanted to.
It's great to see the whole thing of this.
Bring Katherine up.
Well, we're going to go down there, Rob, so you can come down with us. Come down that tree here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I told you there was Steve Hughes and Katherine and Maury Hughes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you when you said that. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, well,
They look the other way.
that's the other one that's doing the reverse to us. He's doing the cake. The golf, I'm sorry, the golf. Well, and he says I didn't do the golf, but I'm sure I did the golf. And that was last year, the Taylor. And he says I did the red centre, but I didn't do the red centre, but didn't you? Yeah, well, I agree with that, Bill. I appreciate that point. But, I mean, that's not something. But one of the one of the
So he belongs to John because it's his birthday.
I think there's a guy that was hopping around by me earlier.
What about size 22 feet?
Well, those blue-eyed